So with you and doing the podcast and getting on other people's podcasts, you're seeing that it's working. I'm curious, what is your call to action? So what's the CTA during the podcast or at the end of the podcast that you're telling the listener what to do? I'm asking because I always hear that you're not supposed to have more than one call to action. And it seems like you're getting a lot of people following you on Insta. And so I'm thinking to myself, with these blue marks, are you saying go follow my social, or are you saying buy my book, or what's kind of your call to action when you're getting on my show and other people's shows to promote your book?
So have we done a call to action yet?
No, not in this episode yet.
Okay. We've actually done 2.
Oh, just kidding. I was wrong.
So we've already mentioned the book. Okay. We've also just mentioned that I get blue marks when people go over to Steve D. Sims at Instagram. So we've actually dropped it in twice already. There's a lot of people that when they go into a podcast, they'll be like, oh, it's funny you should ask me that, Adam. You can find this chapter at this URL. And they do it like that. I don't like that. I like to have a conversation. If somebody out there is listening to this and goes, oh, I like what he's talking about, I like his tone, I like his enthusiasm, they've already been given 2 links. The book, which they can look up on Amazon or just visit me on a website. And I've also mentioned my Instagram page. Okay. So I've already given them 2 soft CTAs. But the way I like to work is I like to go, hey, this is me. If you want a bit more of me in your life, go and find me. You do not have to be the person. And in fact, I think it repels if you go, hey, you're going to want more of me, so you need to go. And you suddenly start flagging those things down. They're too much of a banner ad, and people will see 3 and they don't want to play with it. So I do soft CTAs.
I really love that takeaway. Like, I just want it to sink in. I want you to drop your mic. He's using a mic that he's allowed to drop. It's the Shure 58, and it's allowed to be dropped. But here's the thing. I love how you're saying that. Like, that there's a couple of ways. I will try to make a quick example. It seems like in the past, the thing that worked, in the 1900s, 1800s, was the loudest person, the most forceful person, the most confident person got all the business. The person that was pushing, they were coming and push, buy my thing. You want more of me. It seemed like it might have worked back then. And then we started feeling resistant against it. And so we're pushing against. And so it's like these 2 magnets where the plus side is facing each other. The one person wants to sell, so they're pushing, and we're pushing away. And so we walk into a car lot, we walk into to buy a shirt, and somebody says, how can I help you? We all of a sudden we're like, you're not selling me. And so we say, I'm just looking. I don't need any help. I'm just looking. I'm fine. Don't help me. We know we're there to buy, but we don't want to be sold. And so what you've done is you're a magnet, and you've turned around to have your negative side, not negative bad, but the north or the south side facing everybody, where you're standing as a beacon. You're not pushing anything. You're just being who you are, being authentic. And when you're advertising, you're like, well, this is where it would be, but you're not being it doesn't feel salesy. And so what ends up happening in my mind is you're this magnet north-south, and they're this magnet north-south. And because you're not facing the same direction, boom, you connect, and it really supports you. And I love that that's how you feel about it. And I think that having your strategy of calls to action, soft calls to action, this is me, this is where you could find me, versus pushy seems like a really effective route.